Hey guys, how's it going? This is Deadly. Welcome back to the Nomadic Challenge, the series where I have to craft all of my gear as I level from 1 to 100. Today in episode 5, we're going to be reaching level 25 in Dustwood. And if you didn't watch last episode, you probably should. We went from level 15 to 20 in Red Ridge Mountains, covering all the quests in that area. So we're going to get started in Darkshire, which is the first questing hub that you're going to be getting in Dustwood. So be prepared to be killing a lot of wolves, a lot of spiders, a lot of undead worgans, and even eventually down the road you're going to be running into some ogres. So again, we're level 20, and at this point I haven't really had a good chance to go and craft some better equipment. I'm in that weird spot between copper and bronze, so in Dustwood I'm actually able to acquire some tin, which I need to make bronze. And what's really weird in Dustwood is you can actually get iron really easily and pretty quickly. I found this was really strange at a level 20 zone to actually start picking up iron, because I won't be able to use it for crafting until I'm in my 30s. And even thereafter, I just made a helm that was for level 42, which was a plate helm, which was really strange. And you're going to be seeing that down the road just from iron ore converting it into steel. So the fact that I'm able to start collecting some really valuable resources that are going to start benefiting me way down the road is pretty useful. But what's even weird, and you'll see in this next episode that's going to come out, in Stranglethorn Vale, I wasn't able to find any iron at all in North Stranglethorn, only tin, which was really strange. So I don't know what's going on here, but it worked out for me because iron gives me a lot of experience right now. So whenever I find it, it's great. Silver is a huge money maker. I've been saying this a lot in my previous episodes, but I'm finally now in this series, you're going to see me collecting my silver, which is going to be my first method of making money. Second to that will be my linen cloth. I will start to sell some of that on the auction house, and you'll see that in the lower left later in this video. Usually what I'm doing right now is I'm selling everything that's gray, everything that's white, pretty much everything that I can't sell in the auction house. All of my cloths I'm keeping. All of my gems and all of my pearls I'm trying to keep as well, because I don't know if I'm going to be using those for crafting later down the road. So anything that I can use in crafting I'm trying to keep, and anything that I won't need at all, or I don't think I'm going to be selling on the auction house, I'll just get rid of it to a vendor. But this method works really good. Never vendor cloths, guys. Even if you're not going to be using them, save them. Maybe make a secondary account. If you're never going to be going back to a major city, one good strategy is to make a level 1, run into a mailbox, and just mail that character everything that you don't want but you eventually want to list on the auction house. That way you can continue to make money without actually having to fly and do all the auction house work on your leveling character. It just eliminates that amount of time that you need to spend from flying from point A to point B just to list up your auctions. But for me, I didn't think it was that big of a deal, because every now and again I do have to go back to the major cities and get my blacksmithing training up, my mining training up, and start making some equipment. So it's a nice balance. I just collect all my stuff, and then whenever I make it back to a major city, I list it all, and I can make a lot of money. You're going to be seeing that down the road. I'm actually fairly profitable right now, and I got a good gold income for myself, which is awesome, because again, I was somebody who used to preach don't pick up professions all the time whenever you're doing these leveling shows, and now with the additional experience bonus and they balanced out the nodes a little bit, it's definitely worth it. So disregard what I used to say, guys. I'm always going to be picking up these types of professions as I continue to do these leveling shows in the future, because it's just so worth it, especially if you're struggling with gold. So there you guys go. You can see I'm picking up some iron nodes right away as we're killing some worgans. So right now we just finished up killing some dire wolves, collecting some dusky lumps from some spiders, which took way too long, and we're starting our new Nightbane quests, where we have to go around killing worgans and discovering their action plans against Darkshire, and then really understanding what's causing this plague and this outbreak. You can also go around, you're going to be killing undead, and trying to investigate a family history story between one worgan and one undead, which unfolds later on in the zone. But for the most part, Dustwood is pretty much just kill quests after kill quest after kill quest. over and over and over again. You're going to be killing some rotting horrors, and then they're going to be skeleton mages and skeleton warriors, and then you're going to be starting off with a light group of worgen, and then you're going to advance into more tighter groups of worgen, maybe some warlocks, stuff like that. A few boss quests here and there, but and also a few kill and collect quests. So nothing too crazy and cinematic. It's just rinse and repeat over and over again, which isn't that bad. I don't really mind. So it's going to be giving me a lot of experience, and you're going to go out there, complete a huge group of quests, run back into town, get a level, run back out there, do the same thing pretty much throughout the entire zone. It seems a little boring, but I didn't find it that bad at all. Just, obviously I'm streaming this too, so if you want to watch this live, go to twitch.tv/DeadlySlob, and I'm streaming this every Sunday and every Wednesday. So I'm always going to be communicating with the chat and interacting with you guys, and whenever you ask me questions, I'm definitely going to be doing my best to get back to you there. What's also good about Darkshire is there is a blacksmithing trainer that is embedded in town, and at this point in time I get my first vendored green, and so far my only vendored green throughout the entire series, which is some male legs. So in the Nomadic Challenge rules, I am allowed to buy greens from vendors. It's kind of the point, right? So I can self-craft all my equipment, but if I go around into the world in search of other equipment, other pieces of greens and blues, I can buy them and then use them. So I'm not using equipment that I get from looting monsters, because I find that does take away the point of doing my crafting. But when I go to different vendors and different armorers and different crafters around the world, I don't find it's that bad, because it's very limited. It may not seem like a big deal now, but once I get to like Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, Mists of Pandaria, and Warlords of Draenor, picking up equipment from killing monsters is going to completely take away the piss out of this challenge, because I will get so many greens that I can use from killing monsters that it's just going to make it useless. So at this point, I was a little bit on the fence about if I'm going to be using equipment that I pick up from killing monsters. But I decided from here on out, I'm not going to be doing that at all. I just have to self-craft or find it from vendors, which is still okay. Another cool thing to note whenever we're just kind of running around here doing kill quests is on the World of Warcraft subreddit. I actually made a thread about the Nomadic Challenge, and there's actually a lot of people who are interested in it, and there's a lot of people who are actually doing this challenge right now. And if you are doing this, definitely let me know in the comment section below, and then maybe include like a link to a video or a screenshot of where your character is at right now and how you're experiencing the challenge and any alterations that you've made. Someone on the Reddit did make some changes, and they did allow themselves to use equipment that they get from killing monsters and a few other things like not using flight paths, which was really interesting. Somebody else posted a link on the WoW subreddit today about them doing a leveling series of just running around without using the flight paths in the game, and they said it was a really interesting take on it. For me, I see flight paths as just a means to an end. Yeah, you can run from point A to B, but it's just going to save me some time. But, let me know what you think, guys, and what alterations that you're making, or what kind of cool challenges that you're up to in World of Warcraft with new characters, if you're into that. What's also nice to know, at level 20, I was able to pick up my mount, and I don't think I've talked about that yet. So riding has definitely made it a lot faster than running around on foot. And I'm currently sporting my Black Warbear. You can get one of these Black Warbears if you're on the Alliance or the Horde by killing every single king from each faction. And you can do that. Typically you can find them in trade chats on the weekends. People are doing 40-man raids against cities. Jump in one if you're level 100 and you'll quickly be able to acquire one of these mounts. I don't think it's very hard to do anymore. I got mine a long time ago when it was really easy to do. So if it's not so easy, then, well, kind of sucks for you, but I'm sure there's still huge groups that are going around doing this. I have a lot of different mounts that I'll be using throughout the series, so if you guys have any questions about any particular mount that I'm currently going to be using on the stream or on the series, just let me know in the comments and I'll get back to you. So we're continuing our journey through Dustwood, and we're just about complete of Darkshire. There's only a few more quests that we have to do, so we're continuing our Nightbane executions. We're continuing our undead quests. They're pretty much, like I said, you're going to be doing very similar quests over and over and over again. So there's nothing too crazy to talk about. But when it comes to the Paladin class right now, I find that Holy Power is a really awesome balance. I never played a Paladin for many years, and Holy Power is something new to me. So the balance between Crusader Strike, Judgment, and Templar's Verdict is really good. And down the road, whenever you get Exorcism, it really helps out too, because it allows you to get more Templar's Verdict out, or get some better heals, or add some more balance to your rotation. Because right now, it's usually Judgment, Crusader Strike, and then waiting for like another Judgment or Crusader Strike, which is like a couple seconds, and then doing a Templar's Verdict. But eventually it's just like Exorcism, Judgment, Crusader Strike, Templar's Verdict, repeat. And whenever I do get Exorcism, there's a 20% chance that I'll automatically proc, so it makes it much faster to get those verdicts out. And Verdict is one of the most powerful abilities that a Retribution Paladin has, so the more opportunities that you get to cast that, the better. With the Paladin, I'm also using a couple new abilities this episode. The first off is Hammer of Righteousness, and this kind of takes the place of your Crusader Strike whenever you're engaging more than one enemy at a time. So Hammer of Righteousness uses 3% base mana, has a 4.5 second cooldown. It hammers the current target with 42% physical damage, causing a wave of light that hits all other targets within 8 yards. Whenever you get Seal of Righteousness, at level 42, using these combinations together with Divine Storm is your AoE damage. So you do, Hammer of Righteousness, Judgment, another Hammer, and then Divine Storm. Divine Storm, we'll talk about it way later. You get it at level 34. It does 80% holy damage to all enemies within 8 yards. So you can see how that does more splash damage. With Seal of Righteousness, it does the same thing. It's a seal that causes melee attacks to deal 12% holy damage to all targets. So you're doing a lot of AoE target damage together, and you'll see that become beneficial down the road. And if you are using like buy on account items or even questing items, the fastest way for you to be killing monsters is just gathering up a bunch of them at the same time and then using your Hammer of Righteousness with the combinations of AoE abilities. I know prot paladins are probably like yelling at me in the comments right now, being like, if you're gonna pull mobs, you gotta go prot. I understand that. A lot of people want me to go protection, but right now I do like the rotation when it comes to retribution, so I'm gonna be keeping it. Also at level 20 we get Cleanse. It's an instant cast, uses 16% base mana. You can use it within 40 yards. It cleanses a friendly target, removing all poison and disease and magic effects from yourself or friendly target. So a very useful ability. If you ever see your friend or yourself, you get a poison on you, you get a disease, you can just cleanse it off and continue to move on. Pretty awesome. It's pretty basic as well. Nothing too much to say about that. So back to questing, we've moved out of Darkshire and I moved into the central location of Dustwood. This is where I'm going to be starting to do some ogre kill quests, doing some corpse weeds, and also looking for a crazed worgen that has lost his mind, running around the area, sneaking around, and you're trying to figure out who this worgen is and what's his deal and why you should care about it. So it's not that bad. It's actually at the center crossroads between Stranglethorn, Westfall, and Darkshire, so be prepared to get ganked around this area. Just keep your eyes on the back of your head, because a lot of horde will run through that crossroads whenever they're coming from Stranglethorn to get up into like Elwyn Forest to do ganking or to do any types of raids against the Alliance. So just keep your eyes open for that. But it's all these ogres. Be prepared to start grinding this out. You need to collect 15 ogre blood, or you need to kill 15 ogres, collect some blood, and then also collect some basic supplies. What lucked out for me is there's resources all over this cave area, and I was able to start getting a lot of tin, a lot of iron, and a lot of copper. At this point, it's funny, I'm mining iron, but I still need my copper to make the bronze. So I went over, farmed the node, and hit level 24. We got a brand new seal, and this seal is pretty important to the Retribution class, so I'm going to dive into it right now. So, at level 24, you get Seal of Truth. This is going to be your single target seal that you're going to want to use pretty much all the time, unless you're in AoE combat or you need a heal. AoE would be Seal of Righteousness, Whenever you need a heal, you would use Seal of Insight, but for the most part, you're going to be using Seal of Truth. Seal of Truth, it fills you with holy light, causing melee attacks to deal 12% additional holy damage and applies censure to the target. Censure does additional holy damage on your target for 15 seconds and it stacks up to 5 times. So that's why it's really important for single target DPS. So make sure that you have Seal of Truth on pretty much all the time when you're rolling as a Retribution Paladin. So that wraps up all the new abilities that I'm going to be getting from level 20 to 25. So the last part is actually finishing up the questing. So in Western Dustwood, you're going to be meeting up with this convoy of Worgen that have kind of settled into this cemetery, and this kind of ties into this loose Worgen questline that you have to kind of figure out. This old Raven Hill cemetery hasn't changed too much. You will have to start looking through some crypts and do some kill quests there as well. And obviously, at level 24, I'm not that powerful, and I'm still using level 10 gear. So these guys really start kicking my ass, and that's when I realized that shit, sometime soon I'm gonna have to take a powwow and actually start crafting some equipment because I am really weak at this point. I fly back to Darkshire really quick because there's a huge quest I need to turn in to kill Stitches. Stitches used to come pretty much every hour, I'm almost positive, with a huge raid of undead to Darkshire, but I don't think that happens anymore now that it's just a quest. So Stitches, he's an elite monster. It's not that bad to solo, so if you have any problems, usually there's people around Darkshire all the time. It is instance though, so you're gonna have to group up with them. But for the most part, what I did here, because I'm really weak and I have no equipment, but what I ended up doing was using my Pursuit of Justice, which increases my movement speed when I get Holy Power. So I do a little bit of damage, run away, Judgment, and just make sure that he's away from walking distance and allow the guards to do as much damage as possible. And that was really easy. I was able to run 30% movement speed around Stitches. He wasn't able to hit me too hard, and obviously if I did get hit, I can heal. So it really wasn't that bad. I also stopped in at the weaponsmith that was in town to see if there's any green weapons I could pick up, but I noticed that there was this white two-handed sword that did a lot more damage than my little mace that I had. So I decided that, hey, the sword looks cool and I'm going to be doing way more damage with it, so I might as well pick it up and use it. So it's not too shameful to use a white weapon, especially whenever you don't have too many options available to you. So I picked it up and it looked cool, so yeah, win-win for me. The shitty thing about blacksmithing is eventually most of the good weapons that you can craft with it require blacksmithing plans, and whenever you're on a low pop alliance server, these low level blacksmithing weapon plans cost thousands upon thousands of gold because they're typically used for transmog sets. So for the most part, I'm not going to be able to craft too many weapons unless I get really lucky and find some blacksmithing plans from vendors, and I will do that down the road. But there we go, we hit level 25 in Western Dustwood. Make sure that you guys stop by for next episode in the Nomadic challenge. We're going to be heading to Northern Stranglethorn and reaching level 30. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this episode, definitely share this with your friends. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And also watch the stream every Sunday and Wednesday. I'll be playing Warcraft on the stream. I also do DayZ and play other games every single morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard, so definitely come by and check out the daily broadcasts, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.